Hi everyone, I'm Shelly from There's No Place Like Home at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. Today I'm going to share something with you that might come as a surprise, a welcome surprise, but a surprise nonetheless, especially for those of you who are newer to homeschooling, and that is this. Breaks can count as homeschool days? If you are one of those homeschoolers who lives in a state that requires you to homeschool for a certain number of days every year, it can be a little overwhelming and sometimes confusing, especially when you are starting out, when you're trying to figure out what constitutes a homeschool day and what does not. Usually by default, what ends up happening is that the days in which structured schoolwork happens or scheduled field trips happen, those are counted as school days. And all of the breaks and the weekends and everything that does not have like an actual school day built into it is not counted as a homeschool day. But does it really have to be that way? I'm going to tell you no, it doesn't have to be that way. Breaks can also be counted as homeschool days. Now, first of all, I have to point out that there are some people who are very relaxed about this because when you are homeschooling and a child wakes up, they are at school, and kids really do learn every single day. As long as kids are awake, they are learning, and that is something that is really important to remember. But there are a lot of parents who do feel better about having certain qualifications that will make things count as homeschool days. They want things that will have certain educational patterns to them that they can count as homeschool days. And so what I wanted to share with you today is that those educational days, they don't just happen on the days that you're doing school with your kids. These things can happen definitely on your breaks, whether it's a Christmas break or a summer break, whether it's a week-long break, whether you're going on vacation, even on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. There are times that your kids are doing things, and I'm going to say this is pretty often, that your kids are likely doing things that are educational and that you can definitely count as a homeschool day for them. So for example, if you're taking a Christmas break with your kids and you have one day where your kids are helping you bake, they're helping you wrap presents, they're helping you decorate the tree, they're helping you to go Christmas shopping and to figure out your budget, all of those things are educational. They are all learning experiences for your kids, and they are all things that you can count as a homeschool day. Now let's look at summer vacation. You know, those days when your kids are outside, chasing butterflies, looking at different flowers, digging in the dirt, looking for worms, going fishing, exploring at the creek. Those are all educational things that you can count as homeschool days. Or even on those weekends where you don't really have anything specific planned, but you see your kids sitting there playing with Legos or drawing or reading a book just because they want to. Or I'm going to even venture in to video games here. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos before, you will know that my kids don't have free reign of whenever they want to go on their games that they can. That's not how it works here. We have what I call tech time, and that is usually on the weekends, or if there are special occasions like birthdays or other sorts of things, but usually tech time happens on the weekends. So this isn't something that my kids are doing all the time. However, what I will tell you is that on the weekends, my 6-year-old, for example, she loves playing Roblox. She has learned more spelling and reading from Roblox than she has learned from the phonics curriculum that we use. And I'm not putting down the phonics curriculum because it is an immense help and we've been using it for years. But I'm going to be honest and I'm going to tell you that anyone will tell you, any of my other kids will tell you that Roblox has helped her more with reading and spelling than anything else. Why? Because this is something that has meaning to her. She needs to know how to spell certain things if she's going to ask people for things or if she knows what to look for. So even something like that is educational. And I think that a lot of parents just kind of get caught up in this rut of thinking that if it's not something that is written down on their lesson planner, or if it's not something that is coming out of a curriculum, or if it's not like a scheduled activity or co-op day or field trip, people just get this notion that you can't count breaks as homeschool days. You can totally count break days as homeschool days. Does this mean that you want to count every break day as a homeschool day? Well, that depends. If you do have days where your kids are kind of just sitting around an awful lot and haven't really done much of anything, I would say you might want to wager whether or not you would want to count that as a homeschool day. I probably would not. But on those days when your kids don't have school for the day, or if they're off for the week, or if they're off for 6 weeks, or however long they're off for, still pay attention to your kids. Your kids are still doing educational things all the time. So don't get yourself caught up in the idea that school can only happen on days that you're doing lessons with your kids. Learning happens all the time, and as a homeschool parent, it is to your advantage to remember that and to count it. Anyway, that's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one over on Instagram because YouTube disabled my comments. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I will leave a link in the description box for that as well. And today I want to give a shout out to one of my newest patrons, Jenny. Thank you so much for supporting me. It is such an encouragement to know that there are people who look forward to what I do and who find it useful. And I just want to say thank you again, and I hope you all have a great day.